Welcome back to the channel. My name's Prem. Today's part 4 or part 4 and it's gearbox removal time. So in the previous episode we reassembled the engine, so that's ready to go now. Today we'll be removing the gearbox, stripping it down, and I'll take you through the process as we go along. From part 1 you would be seeing that I've already removed the prop shaft. So what we've got left to do now is a couple of things to remove, disconnect, and we can then lower it down when out it pops. So remove the dipstick pipe on the left or the right or driver's side, and over here I've removed the gear selector, and I think the only thing left now is you got this cable here in front of you with that little red tab, my paint mark on there, and also the speedo cable. The electrical connector, I think, was a reverse light switch, and the speedo, they're all disconnected, so it's free. So instead of me jacking the whole thing up, I'm going to scrub the idea. We're going to make some real manly noises, and we're going to pull it over. So here we go. Half the prop jobs come out. Let's see if we can. There we go. That's off. It's out. Before we do anything, I'm going to give it a wash. Take it outside, clean all this grease and muck off. So, just like this, we have a sort of clean gearbox. I've got most of the grease off. It'll still leak everywhere, like it's still leaking now, but it is what it is. But anyway, it's cleaner than before. So let's get the sump off first. 6 13mm bolts. Wow, very clean. So it looks like it has been looked after, and it has been serviced regularly. Yeah, that's very nice. So let's get the filter off. Let's get the valve body off. Let's get this back plate off. That's to make sure the gears just don't flop around. It's just that. Okay. So I think next we should get the back cover off, and then we can start taking the parking gear out. So that's what prevents from rolling backwards, and then we can start taking this selector shaft out. Once that's out the way, this plastic this piece comes out, then we can start taking off the items from each side. I think these are normally green for this age of car. Might be wrong. Yeah. This is your gear. This is your gear position sensor. So when this sort of moves through there, it tells the ECU, well, the very basic ECU in this, which gear it's in. It's more there for so you can't start it in drive or reverse. Has to be park or neutral. There we go. Take this cover off. I don't think this will explode in my face. There's only one way to find out. There we go. Right. These are all four. So this one is for the rear brake band. That's for the, I think that's B2. No, sorry, K2, and that's K1. I'll correct it on screen if I'm wrong. So these are the actuators, the pressure. This is how there's a brake band in here which has to slow the drum down before it changes gear. So that's what these are. There we go. See there. There you go. That's that one. That one goes with this one. Okay. Still got to figure out how to get this one out because I don't want to leave this on. I want to clean this up once we've done stripping it down. Let's get the front cover off. Or the actual, that's the oil pump. Oh. Oil everywhere. Everywhere's oil. There we go. So you have to press this plate down to release. See those little springs in there? Those little springs. So you have to release that to get this off. This is for reverse gear, by the way. So you have to release that so you can get to the actual oil pump and then put the new seals inside there. First clutch pack. You remember this this pin here? That goes on that side of the brake band. So taking that out first. Now the brake band is loose. There's also a pin on this side, but I need to find an Allen key, which I can't find. So we need to open that. That will take the second pin out. So that's more for refitting rather than tear down. First brake band, and it's, to be honest, this is in really good condition. It hasn't even worn through the markings on there, the letters. But I do have a new one. There you go. Next is the clutch pack. Be careful of that pin. There you go. There. Oh, see the bearing underneath? That bearing goes inside. If you turn this around, there's another bearing in here. Be careful of that. Now you see again, you see these springs. You have to press this down to get that circlip out, and this circlip here, and then we can recondition all this, put new seals, everything in here. So that's first clutch pack. And also, when you're putting it back together, just make sure you line these up with a screwdriver so they're nice and even before you get it into this one. There's the opposite gear in there. And there's another bearing at the back of it, which sits on here. I think these two are the same. No, that's bigger than this one. Next, we'll get this cover off. Next, we'll get the flex joint, or gazebo, I think I call it. That comes off, and then there's a nut that secures the what the gazebo's fixed onto. Oh, finally. So we're gonna open. So we're gonna spread that bit of the nut which is pushed down. Oh, finally. I think we need a new one. If you look at this, it's not. If you look at this, it's not wet. So that seal wasn't leaking. Yeah, there's a washer in there as well. Now to take the. Now get the back cover off. Okay, this is a oil pipe distributor, so that throws oil onto the gear. This pops straight out, or the whole thing out. Keep that together. There's also washers on the back, 2 of them. Now the park gear is the spring. The spring is like this, and that catches against the housing, like that. Next is the gear selector bush, and you got a roller bush here. So I'm going to take this a screw on this side where I'm pointing to. I'll take the Allen key out. This will come out that way. Park. Again, we'll put that down like that. There it is. See that gear come up? Right, there's this red washer. Ooh, almost fell inside. So that's off. Oh, shoot. That goes in there. That goes in there. I'll put these the other way around. Right, this side can come out. So that this was holding this one in. This. Just screw it around. Okay, all that commotion. This has freed up the reverse gear. So these are your reverse gear clutches. Your reverse gear clutches. So see the order we've taken them out. There you go, that's the next one. Okay, that's the last one. So there's a snap ring. Circlip is out. I think we can take the input shaft out now. So oh, we can take the whole thing out. There we go. Planetary gears are in here. So we'll have a look at the manual in terms of what needs to be replaced. I think there are some seals in here that need to be replaced, but this is out. There's only one thing left to do now. Next is the clutch pack at the back. There we go. Rear clutch pack. And then, last but not least, rear brake band, which you then tilt down, screws from the top, and there we have it. Oh, complete strip down. And there's the rear brake band. Don't know, I've got new parts. But again, this one's probably a bit worse than the first one. Yeah, you can see the wear on here. See the wear on these parts. But that's it, stripped down. Well, that was fun. Never done that before. I never stripped a gearbox down before. First time for everything, isn't it? So I'm going to now properly clean the casing, and then I'm going to take you through the clutch pack. I'm going to take one of these apart, put the new clutches in, the plates, so you get an idea of what has to be done. So you've got the front and the rear clutch pack. You've got the reverse gears, the reverse clutch pack, which you saw we've taken out. Then we also take apart the front oil pump housing. Again, there's loads of seals in there, so start taking. We do each one of these. I'll show you one clutch pack, and you get the idea, and then we'll put it back together again. Simples. This is the master rebuild kit which I've got for the gearbox. So it's trans speed, and inside we've got full set of gaskets, rubber seals in these little packets in there, washers, everything you need from that one. And then you've got your steel plates, and then you get your friction kit. So 3 kits. So these are, that's your rear, that's your front one, and these are reverse. Same goes for these ones as well. And then finally we've got new brake bands. That's the front one, and here's a rear one. Same material as the one we've taken out. So I've already done the rear one, which is a K2. So this is a front clutch pack, so it's K1. So first thing I'm going to do, I've turned it around. You see all these little springs in here? There. So we have to press this, I'd say collet or a washer, or you call it, that's to go down. There's a little ring in here. So once that goes down, ring comes out, you gently release it. So I'll tell you why I'm going to do that in a minute. So first of all, you've got this tool. Center that. I've had to chop the edge, this was too big. So that's centered. And then with the spanner, start ratcheting it up. You also notice that there's two springs not present, one there and one over here. So that difference is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 springs on that side and the rest over here. There's 2 missing. In case you think this one, if I've lost 2 but I haven't, there's. Okay, that's out. Let's just under the gear now. Oh, we can get that out. That's not a problem. As long as it's out of there. There. This will be now free. So, as I said, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there was. Oh, there's 3 missing. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 10 and 7 and 4. Okay, I'll just put these over here so we don't lose any. Is the actual physical friction type plates, the steel plates which are here. To remove those, we take this circlip out from here. So you can see the end here. There you go. So that's now out. Remember, that was on that edge like that. Now we're taking out the actual plates. Take these out in order and keep them in order because I want to measure these. So you see steel friction all the way through. And there was this at the end. Remember that. So that's out. Now the reason we've taken the springs out, so we don't need to take these out to replace these, but inside here there are rubber seals like this one and then one in here. So these what are used to actually build the pressure up. So the way this contraption works is it's a wet clutch. So when the auto fluid builds up, the pressure builds up, it pushes these together. When you push them together, you squeeze them together. That's when he engages actual gear. So that's when it starts moving. So when the oil pressure reduces, they loosen up. That's it. They loosen up. You got no drive. So that's why we got to replace these two screws to ensure there's enough oil pressure remaining inside the unit. We had a couple of extra ones in there. I suppose the reason they probably put these in depending on what model and year and what size seals you have. So if I take the outside one first, remember which way this goes on. So this lip was downwards. So remove this. So out of these ones, it's that one. Remember the lip was down, so that would go in here. Same with this one. Check which way the lip is. Lip is down. So we get our little pick. We gently There we go. You can actually feel these are fairly solid now after all these years. So again, it's actually only one, so there you go. That's the right size. Lip going downwards. Try again. Right. Next, the clutch pack. So here's the old one. So you got plate, friction material plate, all the way down. Here's the new plates. Here's the new steels. So I've already put the ring backing. We'll have to use the original one. That's already in there. So I will soak these in oil, and we'll start putting it in. Friction. Steel. Friction. Steel. Last friction. And then last steel. Next. That goes in. Next, remember to line all the friction plates up so it's easy to fit in. Don't forget, this isn't pinned down at this stage. Even with the plate going, even with the clip going back in, it's still going to be loose. So when you fit it, you can work it around to engage the inner gears. Okay, that's close as we can. Remember, this was sitting in this edge here. So the screwdriver. That's it. That's locked. Last stage, springs. Springs all down. Trying to make a bit of space here without it slipping. Well, that looks like it's in. Yep, that's how it's done. The only other one, got one left to do, which is the oil pump side. I'll open up. I'll show you what the oil pump looks like. But the principle, there's no plates in there, but the principle is the same. All I want to do with the oil pump is the seals. Okay, take that out. Here we are. So, okay, looks like that. Scratches aren't deep. This is the actual oil pump. Same as the oil pump you'd find in an old Ford overhead camel CVH. These have the same principle, even actually voxels as well. So again, what we're checking is the face of the gear. Deep gouges, marks, because this is where the actual overpressure is created. So again, with the outside one. There you go. Again, that's fine. There's no deep gouges. That's not, you can't even feel those to the finger. The rest of it's in good condition. That's fine. Yep. Put this back together as it is. Okay, that was there. It's this way. That was there. Like that. Assembly time. So all the other bits are done. I have thoroughly cleaned, degreased the casing. There you go. Top tip, get yourself a lint-free rag. So all this was cleaned, degreased, and then I compressed air, blew the air out, lint-free rag. Make sure all these galleries are clean and all dry, which they are now. So start with these two seals down here. Well, I think they're sort of Teflon. So those two, go out, change these two first, then brake band and K2 clutch. end part 4 here. So the bulk of the actual rebuild's finished now. There's 2 items which I'm waiting for. Once they arrive, there's a straight bolt on. The sump I'd like to paint, make it look as nice as the lower sump on the engine. So I'll get that painted, we'll put it on. Then I'll need to go and get a transmission jack, so we're going to then help me refit it back in there. But yeah, this has been interesting. I think this really was an interesting video for me. Never built a gearbox before, never stripped a gearbox before, and having done this over 2 days, I think that's something for me. So, and if you haven't subscribed, I think you should now subscribe. Things are going to get more interesting from here on in. Getting all this put together, paintwork, fabrication. There's a lot more to come. So if you haven't, please, you need to subscribe, and you definitely need to hit that like button. So part 4 is done. I shall see you next time.